I'm really excited about today's episode as I have a very special guest who has advised some amazing companies, including Dow Jones and Panasonic, where he has helped launch new products into global markets. But more importantly, he has helped over 500 consultants from around the world. Get ready for some great information. I'm Devin Herz, and welcome to this week's DMC's Marketing Nugget. On this episode, our guest is best-selling author and CEO of Consulting Success. Welcome, Michael Zipursky.
Hey, Devin, great to be with you.
Mike, it's great to have you here and excited to have you on this show because I just know you're packed full of great information. About 8 years ago, I worked with Michael. I actually hired him as a consultant for myself and our business. And he really helped us develop a business model that has allowed us to build a 7-figure agency. So I want to first off just say thank you very much for all your help back then. You gave us some great insight and a great model to follow. And looking forward to sharing some of your information and background. So you're big time now. You got over 35,000 consultants that follow you on a regular basis. They read your newsletter. You got some great books out there. So I want you to talk to us about your big pivot and turning point in your success.
Yeah, I think so. I've been, just to back up for a moment, 21 plus years now building consulting businesses, 13 years working with consultants through Consulting Success. I think the biggest, I wouldn't call it a pivot, but maybe just a shift that we made really relates to my mindset. I think this is what's exciting about business, is that we all have the opportunity to up level. We have the opportunity to realize greater potential. And it's not usually the strategies or tactics that we're missing. It's the mindset and the belief that we can actually take bigger steps or reach for something that maybe we thought was unattainable before. So in our case, many years back, we started a new program that we had never offered before. It was a version of our coaching program. It's changed quite a bit since then and really improved. But back in that day, it was a different format at a different price point, at a higher price point than we've ever offered before. And when we did that, things really shifted, and they shifted for the better and allowed us to create the base that we've built upon for many years since.
Love watching the growth and seeing everything that you've got going on. And I think evolving is such a big thing right now, and being able to change and be able to see what's going on and try to predict the future as best as you can with your business, but be able to shift gears if need be. So understanding the fact that you want to build a business and we all want to have success, and that comes in many different forms. I think a lot of people are just focused on money and building this big business, but I think ultimately we all want to have a good lifestyle. We want to enjoy the things that we want to do, whether it's being out on the water or different hobbies, spending time with family. So tell us a little bit about why it's key to structure your business to really support your lifestyle and not the other way around.
Yeah, definitely. So if you think about this in terms of a triangle, what a lot of people tend to do is they will put their business at the top of the triangle, and that drives all their decision making. Therefore, they put their lifestyle below their business, and they have to make sacrifices within their lifestyle, and that means time with family, loved ones, doing things beyond business that have to essentially adjust based on what you've structured in your business. But what I've found over time is that when you actually flip that over and you move your lifestyle to the top, you get very clear to begin with about what is meaningful for you, what do you want things to look like, where do you get fulfillment from, and the clearer that you can be around that, then you can make sacrifices or adjustments inside of your business to support your lifestyle. And while that might be hard to see, and if you're earlier stage in your business, you might think, no, that doesn't make sense. I know I just want to make $1 million or whatever it might be. And that's very common when you're, earlier on. What's driving you is money. But if you talk to any successful person or someone who has, kind of made it to that next level, they'll always say that, yeah, it's not about the money anymore. And so recognizing that and actually seeing into the future, knowing that you can find a lot of people who have a great deal of money, but they're not happy because they don't have a good lifestyle. They don't have a good balance of how they're spending their time, or they've given up on opportunities to build relationships with their family, or just to have things that are truly meaningful and that are much more important than money for the long term. And so when you get clear about that from the beginning, and you really figure out what do you want from your lifestyle, then it's much easier to structure your business model, your pricing, who your ideal clients are, all the other pieces inside of the business around that to really support your lifestyle.
That's such a good tip right there, because I know as a young entrepreneur, it was all about money, having the nice car, having the different materialistic things. And as you get older, it definitely changes. So for anyone that's younger out there, not that we're that old, but for anyone that's younger out there, that advice and just really understanding that working towards your lifestyle and the things that you truly enjoy, yeah, you can have some nice things. You can still have some nice cars, vehicles, whatever it is that interests you. But that freedom to do what you want to do, I think, is worth more than anything in the world. I mean, I have friends now that are running multi-million-dollar businesses, but they're traveling nonstop. They're never with their family. They're constantly stressing over things. So great. If that's what you want to do, fine. But I think we're here for such a short period of time on this earth. So really focusing on the things that you enjoy to have that freedom and create that wealth and that business model that can really let you control your business instead of the business controlling you. Again, I know you have tons of information. As far as any other advice right now that you're seeing, obviously we've all been through an interesting year, to say the least. Are there any other tips out there, any other nuggets that you feel you would pass on to our followers who are in all different industries? Yes, we have some consultants and different things like that, but we'd love to hear any other nuggets of advice that you may have.
Yeah, I mean, there's several things, but one of the most important that I would say right now, it's been important for quite some time, but certainly will be in the future as well, is the importance of building community. When I look back at, and I wrote in my most recent book called The Future of Consulting, where I interviewed many successful consultants and just people in professional services, and everyone who really was able to not only just kind of survive the last 14, 15 months, whatever it's been now through COVID, but actually see their businesses thrive during that time, are people who really started planting seeds earlier and had built a community. And when I say community, what I'm referring to is that you have a group of people who look up to you or see you as an authority, see you as an expert, who see you as a source of truth and of information. And you can do that in multiple ways. You can do that by having an email list that you grow. You can do that by having a podcast, by conducting executive roundtables, any way that you're able to get people together where they come to you on a regular basis for new information, for new insights, for helping to get your help to see around corners before they reach that point. You then have a relationship with those people. And so it doesn't matter whether, or it's less of an impact if there isn't an economically challenging time, or if there's another pandemic. I mean, things happen in the world. If we look at history, there's always ups and downs in the environment that we can't control. But what we can control is how we create a community or how we create a solid base in our businesses. And those who really, again, were not only able to manage, but to thrive during this really challenging time are those that had taken the steps in advance to plant seeds, to build relationships, to have a community that they can tap into. And one very simple example of to demonstrate this would be someone who, we'd take two people, one who 90% of their income came from speaking. And when the pandemic hit, right, a lot of people kind of froze. They didn't know what to do and their income was gone. But then you take somebody else who also maybe did some speaking, and that was a percentage of their revenue. But at the same time, they also had built up a following. They had an email list. Maybe they had an online course, whatever it might be. And so even though a percentage of their income dried up very quickly, they're able to go to their community and say, hey, I can't do this online or in person anymore, but we're going to be holding a virtual workshop, or we're going to be putting together an executive roundtable, or we're launching a new online program. And so they had that base to tap into, and they were then very quickly able to not only replace lost income, but actually grow beyond where they were before.
It's incredible how big authority is. I mean, people don't like to necessarily be sold to these days. People don't necessarily enjoy selling. So building relationships and then having those relationships, I think, has just fueled so many other business opportunities for us with referrals, repeat business. So, some of that is what I remember you told us back in the day is you build that, what we call build our bay of people that we can market to and have that loyal following with. They may not need you right then and there, but as you launch new things, using testimonials from clients that you're working with and building that authority is something that we really pride ourselves on, not for ourselves only, but for our clientele, is making them appear the way they are, of course, but also with the use of testimonials, getting people to support them, online branding, offline branding, having things look good. It's that impression that people see things. People are very visual. So having all of that together, I think really sets you up for success to build that authority, figure out the lead magnets so you can start to build your people and your following even bigger. So I think that's very important to figure that out up front too. So that way at least people are raising their hands to say, I want to talk to you. I want to learn more. And again, if they don't buy from you right then and there, email lists, podcasts, all the things that Michael just mentioned are really the things that are going to keep people interested and then also potentially coming and buying from you.
And then one other thing, Devin, I could just add too is
Yeah,
consistency. So this is such a powerful principle that I think a lot of people don't fully take advantage of, but they could and should. The more consistent that you are with your content or just being visible, right? And that's why follow-up is so important. And what you just mentioned, it's very common to reach out, for example, or to have some kind of conversation with someone, and that may not move forward right away. But if you consistently get in front of those people and you're always finding ways to add value or demonstrate value or provide proof that you've helped someone else similar to them with a testimonial or whatever it might be. But if you do that consistently over and over and over and over, then when they are ready, then they think, they're already thinking of you. And so they're going to come to you. But what a lot of people do is they try something, whether it's a marketing campaign, an advertising campaign, some kind of social media, some kind of content, whatever it might be, they try something, it doesn't work for them in a month or 2 months. And they go, oh, like this didn't work. And, God forbid they send something once, they go like, oh, I didn't get a good response, and they give up. Right. So I think we're in a society these days where people are looking for instant gratification. They're looking for instant results, and they judge whether something is working without actually letting it run long enough. And so if you have instead of a short-term mindset, if you can look at business with a long-term mindset, I mean, Simon Sinek wrote a great book called The Infinite Game, where you really start to shift your mindset from thinking about, just getting results and kind of completing something in the moment to this is infinite. This is a long-term. And when you have that long-term mindset, you look at your relationships in a different way. You look at how you connect with people in a different way. You look at how to provide value in a different way, but it's all about consistency. And so the more that you show up, the more prolific you are, right? And just the more that you're doing that over and over again, the more that you'll actually see growth in your business.
I love hearing that because we do all sorts of crazy marketing campaigns for our clients. And a lot of times, people are ready to go. They know it's going to be a long haul, but so many times you'll have that first hit go out, or we'll run 1 week of ads just to get some testing and we don't have great results. You just gotta power through it and have that long-term vision because it takes time. I mean, if you look at these multi-billion-dollar companies, what are they doing? Advertising, commercial, Geico's in your face, they're flying over with a banner. I mean, it's nonstop. So with social media, you have that ability to do things pretty inexpensively. Obviously, you put some money behind it. That also helps build a following. You're now able to target people so granularly that you can get the people that you want to get in front of those people, retargeting people. You guys done a great job of keeping consistent with your newsletter and all that. We try to do a great job here. Of course, clients are always a top priority. So being busy and focusing on their success is very important to us, but just trying to keep content out there like this, because I may not get a ton of calls. You may not get any calls right away off of something like this, but things like this stay around for years online. And if they find it, they see the topic, what we're talking about, we can get a client from this 5 years down the line, and they see all that, and it really just builds the authority. So I highly recommend, if you're not doing anything right now, like a podcast or a show like this, find someone like Michael to help guide you. Our team at DMC is producing shows like this all the time now for our clientele. So don't stress over the technology and making things like this happen. There's some great people out there that are willing to help and grow successfully with you. So, love all the information, Michael. You've been kind enough to give away a free 47-page consulting blueprint. Love to hear about that. Give our audience a little bit of insight on what that is.
Yeah, sure. So we've compiled our most popular content and articles and resources into one guide, which is the Consulting Success Blueprint. And we offer it for free. You can go to consultingsuccess.com/blueprint to grab a copy of it. You'll also get some emails where I share more of my story about building consulting businesses around the world, the ups, the downs, some pretty wild stories in there. Of course, you can unsubscribe from those at any time and still just get the blueprint if you want. But we get a lot of feedback from people that they enjoy those stories. So yeah, that's what it's about. And I think people will hopefully find some value in it.
Oh, I know I find value in everything that you do. So continuing to follow you after all these years and watching you do great things. So once again, really appreciate you being here, and thanks for all the amazing nuggets. Any last final words for our audience out there?
Yeah, no, I think you hit on a really important topic today, Devin, which is just to spend some time getting clear about what's most meaningful for you as a person, as an individual. And I think very often in business, we're so focused on just the day-to-day of business that we lose sight of what's actually most meaningful for us and where we want to be. But the clearer that you can be about what's important to you, then the clearer you'll actually become, and more intentional you'll become in your business. And business is one of these things that when you place your focus on something, you actually are able to attract it to you and achieve more progress towards it, even though it might sound a little bit out there. I've certainly found that to be the case over the last 21 years. So that would be just the final kind of word I would encourage people to do. And I hope that everyone becomes happier and more successful with that.
I was just going to say, it's all about being happy. Just keep that in your mind, smile. We get caught up with things that happened in the past, which create depression. Then we focus on things that are in the future we have no control over. That causes anxiety. So stay in the now, be happy. And again, it's great seeing you, and keep up the great work. And please go out there, follow Michael, get all the great information that he provides whenever you can. So check out the links in the description below. And remember to make sure that you're evolving. Don't be afraid to hire people to help fast track you. And this has been another great DMC Marketing Nugget, and here's to your success.